this weekend makes me sad because I know that there's only one more football game left. It's the Super Bowl, and you have to wait to watch the Super Bowl. Obviously, you have to wait, 2 weeks to watch the Super Bowl, and then it's the off season, and then you're just kind of yearning for football at around March. You're like, man, I miss football. When's football coming back around? Then there's the draft, and then there's OTAs, and you're kind of starting to smell it in the air. Then you get to training camp, and it just feels like a long time before you have an actual game.
Don't
after
tell
the
Doug
Super
all
Bowl.
this, because there is football in the spring.
Yeah, there's football for him in the spring. There is, and hopefully that league is going to do well. But I used to watch the Pro Bowl, and now I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in years. And I don't think that many people tuned into the Pro Bowl. I think it's terrible. It is absolutely awful. You could call me crazy, but I think that they need to figure something out where they can align the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA to have their all-star games all on the same weekend and do cross skills competitions between all three sports. You have your Pro Bowl players, you have your all-stars, but you ask hockey players to do football stuff. You ask football players to do hockey stuff. Like, I would love to see Myles Garrett skate down and try to score on one of the top goalies in the NHL.
His analytics would be the best in the game.
His analytics would be the best. His skate rate would be unbelievable. His slap shot.
His pressure on the goalie would be insane.
Unreal. I would want to see that. I would want to see hockey players play in a pickup game with NBA players. Like, I think that you can get creative to make people want to watch. Now, I don't watch the NHL All-Star Game that much either. I watch the NBA. It's all just, they're messing around. They're not obviously going hard because, they're in the middle of the season. So why not make it just a big skills competition where you're not putting anybody at risk too much, and make it fun? What do you guys think about that?
It's a pretty good idea that I've never even thought about before. Myles Garrett, just like shots on goal and pressure rates. He'd be right there. He'd be right up for it. I would just wonder, because baseball's out of season.
It wouldn't be baseball.
Right during this area. So you'd want hockey.
But you would play baseball. Like, you would have a home run derby. Like, you could, with hockey players, baseball players, and football players.
You could have baseball players. It's right before spring training starts.
Spring training. I think it's a fascinating idea. I'd love to see someone try to run with it.
I'd watch that.
So back when you guys were negative in years, there used to be a thing called Battle of the Network Stars.
Yes.
And they used to have all the TV shows, like they'd form teams, like Team ABC, Team NBC, Team CBS, and they'd have their guys, and they'd do races, tug of war, like going through the military drills where you're climbing walls and all that stuff. That would fascinate me. If you had 3 different leagues, or maybe 4, and they competed against each other in those type of skills, because even though you might think at first, it's not going to be immediately competitive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just want to see the competitive nature. And if you ask any athlete in their respective sport, what would you rather be? Like, they always say, like, man, I always wanted to be a football player, or a basketball player always saying, I always wanted to play baseball. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you could do it. Let's compete. Let's compete with all the guys, all the actual all-stars in 3 sports, and let's see if you can actually play a different sport.
TNT's kind of done that with Steph Curry, Tom Brady. They've brought guys to play golf at the match.
Right.
And
I love that.
Kind of a similar concept.
I love that. I think it's a fascinating idea, and I hope that they actually, I got to do something. I hope they don't steal my idea.
It's all great until Mahomes gets injured skating.
But, yes. I mean, it's the off-season for them. I mean, you just got to worry about the basketball players and the hockey players doing football stuff. But it'd be like flag football. Do a flag football game with, like, Ovechkin and Mahomes.
I always said LeBron would be a great tight end.
LeBron? Yes. I want to see LeBron on skates. That's just me.